so it may read a little differently. But it says, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
It should have been us. As much as we've gambled.
Come on, man.
You may be seated. My task here tonight is it's a hard task. This is the first year that I believe I was saved because this is the first year that I took serious this whole season. Christmas this year past was the first time that I asked for nobody to give me anything because I wanted to give something to God. I wanted to give him me. And so I didn't know that this challenge would present itself. And I asked God when I received this word some months ago, I said, Lord, how can I paint this picture really, really clear so that everybody can relate to what you are saying at this moment?
Yes.
And it's perfect that there are no musicians tonight, because this is not something that needs a lot of hollering. This is not something that needs a lot of dancing, a lot of shouting. Because as we look at Jesus on the cross, we should find that one thing, although there are many, we should at least find one thing to relate with. And as he hung there, he was not, to support what I'm saying tonight, he was not Jesus himself. He was the sins of the world. He was the ultimate sacrifice. And
isn't that something?
You know, I took it a little personal today that people around me were still laughing and enjoying the day. I've never been in that place before, but they were laughing and enjoying the day. But I thought about my mom and I said, Lord, my mom is the most important person in my life. And this could have been the day, this was supposed to have been the day that she died. This was supposed to have been that day. I thought about my dad, and although he's absent, I still pay his respects because he sowed the seed to get me here. This could have been his day. This could have been that very day where I was standing over their caskets and seeing them off. And in essence, this is what is going on with Jesus, the Christ. Hosanna, as they called him as he was carrying his cross. And I think it's funny because
you gotta walk through the text.
We don't take serious a lot of times this particular sacrifice. I posted on Facebook earlier today, I said, he caught the bullet. And, you know, in modern day times, that's exactly what it's like, because if I was the person guilty of absolutely everything, I am everything that everybody has ever called me. I am that. And Jesus took all of that with him to the cross. Yes, I told my share of lies. I've stabbed people in the back. I'm guilty of all of those things. And not only am I guilty, but every last one of us that sits in this room,
that's it.
We are guilty.
Yes.
And, you know, there are a lot of people that I say that I would give my life for. I say that I would lay down my life. I would take a bullet for them. But taking the bullet for them is only important because when I think of taking a bullet, I think that I'm strong enough to handle the bullet and I can bounce back from it. That's the only reason I would step in front of that bullet. Jesus himself knew that he was going to die. That's the fact of the matter. He knew that he was going to die. He knew that he was going into a grave. He knew he was going to be in a tomb. He knew absolutely everything that was to come. He knew that he was not bouncing back in his natural state. And that's the important thing that I believe all of us needs to find to relate to this. This is not just something that, all of us could do, but he did it for us. He made the ultimate sacrifice. He bled complete and total life for something that he could never be related to. In the Bible, they talk about the burnt offerings, the sin offerings, and things of that nature. And Jesus became a sin offering for every time one of us was found up in the club.
That's the word.
He became that. He was a sacrifice for that. For every time one of us lifted up a bottle and put it to the air, waved it like we just didn't care, poured out some for our homies, he became that. For every time we rolled it up, puffed and passed it, he became that.
My God.
There are so many other sins. We make sin such a
thank God for forgiveness.
Tyrannized thing. We make it like it goes in tiers. There's one sin that's bigger than the other. That's one thing that's, it comes to a peak. There's this base for sin. There's the peak of sin. But they're all just sin. Whether you tell a small, as some would call it, white lie, or whether you commit murder, it is still a sin. And so I'm laying the foundation for everyone that's to come after me. And as they come, I want you to consider the fact that as he hung there, he was simply everything that he was. That you are. Everything that you're not. We are not perfect. So he stood there. He hung there as our imperfections. He hung there as our lying tongues, as our lustful eyes, as our backstabbing deeds, as our jealousy, as our envy, as our strife. There are so many sins that we could name. And then we still find people who think they are perfect. We still find people who think they are perfect. But if I could go a little deeper, everyone in here lives in America. And America faces one of the biggest challenges in pretty much all of the world. And that is the challenge of obesity. We're still guilty. Every time we put a spoon to our mouth.
Oh, God, forgive us.
And we're not even hungry. We don't know the definition of hungry.
Forgive us, oh God. Oh,
but yet
God.
we point the finger and says, because he's with another man, he's going to hell. You stand in that same position, boo. You deserve that same grave. You, every last one of us, we deserve that same grave because she lays with many men. She's going to hell. No, boo, you included in that category.
That's it.
We are all included in that category. So, as the next person shall come before us, I just wanted to lay the foundation really, really clear so that we could see who and what Jesus symbolized as he hung there.